Welcome back to Being Guillén in the Guillén Cave. I hope everyone's had a great week. We got Guillén, and we got, like they call him in his place, the legend.
Oh, come on. Where's it come from, Chucky?
I can't do it as good as Chuck, but no, we got OZZIE Jr. obviously with us here today, and we're going to jump right into it. We're not going to do it just doing it for the gram this week. We got a special date. It was August 4th, 28 years ago, and Oni and OZZIE Jr. were in the stands with Tim Raines' kids. We were in the stands. We were in the stands with Tim Raines' kids, and we got to see our guy Robin Ventura do what the best teammates only do, knowing when you have to go up to the mound and you have to face the great Nolan Ryan. Obviously, OZZIE, you're part of that team, but knowing that whoever Nolan hit, you had to charge. I think this is the best move Robin ever did, knowing that he probably was going to get rolled, and obviously probably the most famous fight in Major League Baseball, Nolan Ryan grabbing our good buddy Robin, in a little chokehold and, throwing a couple punches.
It's funny, I think, because that happened the day before with Greg Gravick, and we have a hitting meeting, and our hitting coach said, man, we're pretty sure, I think Nolan going to hit somebody today because that happened, last couple of days. We hit somebody. Then all of a sudden say, hey, whoever get hit, you got to go. Then the first bat, the lineup went through it. And I was leadoff hitter one time. The last one,
I'm sure he didn't.
Hit me.
He didn't want to make it obvious.
No, always, all of a sudden I got a hit, and Walter Ryan told me be ready, and he pitched to me. I got a base hit. Then I said, oh well, going to hit anyone. Next time around, he hit Robin. I think I take my hat to Robin Ventura because not too many people charged him out against Nolan Ryan. I don't think in the history. And I remember Frank Thomas was a kid, and Frank Thomas go, what are you doing? You charging an amount to the legend, like in the middle of the thing. And all of a sudden, we take him very personal. I remember Roberto Hernandez punched Mickey Archie, we had a couple of stitches in his day. And Nolan, Bob Jackson, grabbed Nolan, and Dan Pasqua putting on the ground. It was a pretty good fight. But I'm very proud to Robin, and everybody's always making fun of that. But nobody say Robin Ventura got the guts to go out there and fight with the man.
So Oni did research. Do the breakdown. You actually went and said, and you said there has to be more to this.
I was in Arlington. We were like, what, 6 years old? It was pretty cool. I think that was our first fight to be able to see it live. So I went back in Twitter and checked it out that the day before, Craig Gravick the year before had gone deep off Nolan Ryan. Then he goes deep off him again. Nolan hits him. Then Glenn Hibbard hits Steve Buechele, and the actual fight broke out.
So Steve Buechele charged Greg Hibbard.
Yes.
Charged him out.
I think it was a bad.
Charged him out. And
he got paid.
The next day, it just makes you feel nostalgic for 90s baseball. It was just a brawl. It happened. People, you get hit, you charge them out, it gets over with. If that would have happened now,
warnings, they wouldn't have done it.
Javi Baez is suspended or got fined for excessive showboating.
I mean,
what are we doing?
That's what they want to do. They want to showboating on it. So listen, you can showboat. No, you can't. I don't understand.
This is not the way to promote our game that we love. Like this Nolan Ryan video, it's made it on our show. It's gone viral. Like this is what we want to see. As long as nobody gets seriously hurt.
And it ended there. Nolan Ryan stayed. I think they even stayed in the game.
Yes,
he stayed in the game. Robin got kicked. Now Nolan.
Probably get this thrown.
But here's the part though. You can't prove, even though Greg Hibbard hit a guy the night before, you can't prove that Nolan hit him on purpose.
I was trying to throw inside.
How about this one? Nowadays that happened, and the umpire feel that that's something happened. Next day, Major League Baseball will call the umpire and say, "Hey, when you meet in the plate, make sure you put a warning on." And they say,
it just to me as a fan, it really takes the juice out of a game because like I'm looking forward to the next time. Cincinnati Reds play
it's done. That's done.
Yeah, well, no, it's not because the Mets will play the Reds. Javier Baez will be in the league for the last.
The Mets will. No, the Mets will. I'm saying with the Cubs, that's done.
Yeah.
The Cubs beef with Amir Garrett is done.
Amir Garrett, if it's not this year, he will pitch to Javier Baez. He will not forget, and I guarantee you, players do not forget. It could have happened 2 or 3 years ago. They have it in the back of their mind. We're still talking about this a million years from now. It takes
do you think Amir Garrett has Jose Mesa memory? When I say Jose Mesa memory, Jose Mesa waited 7 years to drill Omar Vizquel.
And then
after Omar Vizquel wrote a book,
him every time after that. So he kept his word. Amir Garrett will have the baseball. Javier Baez will get hit. If it's not this year, I don't think they.
By the way,
it'll be the next year.
Let me say something about it because I see a lot of I don't know. I don't say ladies because ladies got more guts than a lot of guys does. Maybe bigger guts. to don't say the thing I want to say. But when I see the Jolito incident against Minnesota Donaldson, I don't see anything happening. And
no, but that's done.
No, wait. You call him up. National TV, yes, I did talk to him. And in my time, he said, in my time, I swear to God, in my time, if somebody hit a home run and it did like Baez did, because they have the argument before. If Baez did to us in my time what he did to the Cincinnati Reds, they're still fighting right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, before we jump into our next topic, if you guys haven't been keeping up, Baez is already making his name heard in the Mets. Yesterday, he was going to get into something with the Marlins. He was chirping into their dugout after he hit a home run in Miami. He's looking at their dugout like, you guys are talking. I'm like, Javier Baez is going to fit right in with the New York mentality, and they're in a pennant race. So it's going to be very, very exciting to see how
they have a meeting a couple of days ago about how about the play. Rojas, the manager. I read in the papers, in the news or whatever. They have a meeting about maybe it was about that. You never know.
Well, I mean, Javi is very animated, and I'm sure if he's on your team, you love him. But if he's playing against you, you don't want him to do stuff.
Well, let's not talk about teams that matter or don't matter. Let's just get right to it. Here in Chicago, it was a week of we now let the feelings have settled, and we have had a week to think about it. And we've seen how the players have done and performed at other places. But we'll start off with obviously a team that I picked to win the division because I was just being wild. The Chicago Cubs, okay, a team that, in my opinion, did a great job winning a World Series. They went to multiple playoff appearances, but the end of an era, okay, where all their top players have gotten traded, and pretty much the only one left is Wilson Contreras. I want to get your takes on it. Is this a good move? Was this the right move? What do you got? Your personal opinions about the Cubs situation?
You know what? Living in Chicago, you literally got to witness these guys come up. I remember when it was 5, 6, 7 years ago that they were talking about how good their farm system was, and then Chris Bryant comes in the league. He wins an MVP not too long ago. Contreras, Javier Baez on that 2016 team was like a utility guy playing everywhere. Second, they were very, very exciting. Anthony Rizzo gets traded from the Padres to the Cubs. They got the job done. They won their ring. Can't say anything about it. Those guys got the job done. They're probably in the top 15 players in the Cubs history, or at least up there. They did it. They went to 2 NLCSs. They won a ring. People were talking about dynasty. Maybe, it's hard to win one ring, let alone 2 or 3. They did their job. The front office and offered them their contracts. They said no. They wanted more money. Chris Bryant wants more money. Rizzo wanted more money. They offered him 14. He wants 20. Javi Baez also wants to get paid. He said he was very vocal about, I would love to play with Francisco Lindor. So the Cubs offered their contract, the ones that they thought that they could. They said no. They have every right to move on as players because that's what you play the game for, to make your own decisions. If they want to test the free agent market, and they probably will. What will happen with the Cubs? They're going to go into full rebuild mode. They're not longing for fans. That place sells out a lot of tickets, so we'll see where these guys land. I predict that Baez stays in New York, and Chris Bryant is probably a great fit for the Giants as well. I don't think Anthony Rizzo ends up with the Yankees.
Well, he's playing good.
But these guys are red hot. These guys are good players, and you put these guys in the middle of a pennant race because Baez, they're all in the pennant race. They will show out, and
Kimbrel as well.
Great trades for these guys. We'll see what the Cubs got in return. But as far as those 3 guys are concerned, they're in a pennant race, and they change games. You put those guys in the lineups, and they make an impact right away.
Well, my preference for the Cubs, because the Cubs front office, I know fans are kind of a little upset about it, sad about it, but I think they did a tremendous job trading those guys because they know going to be a part of the Cubs in the next year, and they know just stay in one place. They move on. How they move on? Well, let's trade those guys. Let's start over. Do that, and right now they have the right manager to teach kids how to play the game, how to play the right way. And I think they did a tremendous job. Just to don't see there and say, okay, next year they're like, okay, we don't have anybody out. We're not going anywhere. I think the bad thing about it, they play very bad with July.
They ran into a buzzsaw that's the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah.
Milwaukee literally put them out of the race in about a week.
Yeah,
week and a half.
Then that's why they say, you know what? When you want to make those moves, say, you know what? Can we win this year without these guys? Look, we 9 games out. Nope. All right.
I think they were thinking with their minds and not with their hearts. They win a World Series, first one in 100 years. They see what Boston did of being able to win, get take time off, and then again be competitive. The Cubs don't want to do, which I'm going to say into our next topic, with the Chicago White Sox did when you were the manager. After 2005, I guess you have to compete again in 2006, but then in 2007 they doubled down again. They make one merely playoff in 2008, and then after that it was chasing the lightning in the bottle. Their team was getting older. You didn't move guys that were there. You gave PK a huge contract, which is great for the players. The Cubs decided and said, hey, here's the money we have to offer. You don't want it. You want to make a lot of more money. Okay, then go. Then go, and we're going to try to rebuild.
And the stuff that fans are saying about,
but it's been 14 years since the White Sox has been to the playoffs.
About fans, none of those guys are going to re-sign with the Cubs.
No, they might come again, but those guys, the situation is this. When you put an offer, and this is fair for both sides, you're the team and you say, here's the offer. St. Louis Cardinals win Pujols. You love the Cardinals that much, take less money. If you're the Cubs and you love the Cubs that much, take less money. Again, for Rizzo's going to be very interesting. He wants 20. He's in the perfect platform right now to get that type of money. But again, the Cubs, I think, are in good hands. I think they're doing the right moves. We're going to be talking about here on the Guillén show a lot as they move forward. I think they made great trades. But the other team, the team that is guaranteed the American League Central, the team that always blames Jerry Reinsdorf for not spending money, probably the wildest fan base out there in Major League Baseball, they shut them up. Rick Hahn flexed his muscle and did what I don't think has been done since 2005 in the offseason. He made the moves. He moved fan favorite two-strike Nick Madrigal. He made moves with the Cleveland Indians, the Guardians in the American League Central. He made moves with the Chicago Cubs, getting probably the best closer historically on paper right now to be the number 2. The White Sox made every single move that was needed in order for, in my opinion, now being World Series contenders. What is your take on that, Ozzy, on the White Sox and what's happening last week?
Surprise move. Why? Because we barely do make a trade with the team you compete against in your own division, and he did it. It's not happening every day when you trade Cubs, White Sox, and they take the best out of the Cubs. I think Madrigal and Hoyer, you're going to have a good career with them. I'm pretty sure they do. But Reham, I don't know how he did it. And I know why, because as soon Tony Russo being aboard, I know Jerry say, whatever we need to make Tony
we have to try
be good, and we got to try. We have the people. It's all in.
What was really great to see for Sox fans was that Jerry, in his mind, they're spending the money. Next year, they're probably going to pick up Krimble's option for $16 million. Next year, the White Sox will probably have the highest payroll ever that they've ever had in the history of Jerry Reinsdorf's tenure, which would be $147 million. I don't care. Say what you want. That's the highest payroll that he's ever had, which shows the fans at least they're trying their way, which is great to see. You add a back end of the guy, a piece like this, it's great. You add someone like Kimbrel, who's Hall of Fame consideration worthy. It's very, very dangerous in the playoffs. I've always said it that whoever has the hottest bullpen. It reminds me of the Royals when they had Kelvin Herrera at that run that they had at the back end of the bullpen. If you have Hendricks, who was an all-star, did well. Kimbrel's lethal. Kopech.
No, that's why. That's the one, man. That's the one I love.
You put those guys 7, 8, 9. You're really asking the starters to only go 1, and then you got the left-handed guy Crochet who also throws bullets. That's a really shortened game. So with that offense, who's been struggling, you would think that they don't need that many runs to win the game. So if that offense can start clicking, because they're struggling right now, even if they're playing the Royals, it's got to be really tough. I mean, I'm sure that they're in their mind, all they want to do is get Eloy and Robert going,
healthy,
get everyone healthy, get everyone back. But it's kind of hard. I don't care who you are. You're cruising.
You're winning the division.
You're 10 games up, and you have no competition in sight. They have a really tough schedule coming up right now. Yeah. They have a really, really tough schedule, like 3 or 4 game series against Oakland and like the really top tier teams, even the Yankees who are battling. They got a really, really tough schedule. Like the next 4 or 5 series are really tough. So it's going to be nice to see what they do. I really want to see this lineup all healthy, including Grandal.
So the part that I want to talk about real quick, I think that the White Sox made a mistake last year. I don't know why they didn't do it. Again, maybe because it was COVID. Doesn't matter at this moment. When the playoffs are guaranteed for you, either the wild card game or the division, you have to go all in. Why? Next year, guys, it's not guaranteed.
You don't know.
The year after that is not guaranteed. You're a rehab away, a a divorce away, an injury away. Anything can happen. As the Guardians back then, they were the Cleveland Indians, amazing teams for 6 years, and they couldn't get there. You have to go.
They lost.
And they lost. Another thing is you got other teams competing. Okay, and right now, our next topic on this one that we had a week to settle in all the trades. The Yankees are playing better. They're not a guaranteed in. The only team that I look at right now on the American League, and I can say this team's winning the division.
Houston Astros.
Well, the White Sox is way. I think the White Sox are way more ahead. Yeah, the Astros could lose against the Athletics. I don't think anyone. I don't think the Guardians. I don't think the Twins. No one comes back and catches the White Sox. Okay, unless there's a huge tragedy of something literally the season gets canceled. That's the only way. The '94 strike happened again. That's the only way the White Sox don't get in the playoffs. Here's the thing. I think my next topic was, who's a World Series contender? After those moves, and I did not even have them as a favorite to win the division. I didn't. I had the Guardians. You can look at my bets. I think the White Sox today, looking at the matchups, this is the best chance that they have to at least getting to an American League Championship Series as of today.
I don't think there is any excuse for them not to be the last two teams standing in the American League. I don't think there's any excuse. If they don't get by that first round or by the division series, I think that would be considered a failure. They have to be one of the last teams standing in the American League, whether that be with the Astros, whether that be Tampa,
against anybody. You got the Cy Young, by the way. They got the two top guys for Cy Young.
They have to be considered the top two teams in the American League. You just don't know what's going to happen with Tampa, Boston, how it's going to end. But with all the moves that they made and the money that they're spending, I don't see why.
And the talent they have.
I don't see why they wouldn't be considered the top two teams in the American League. So once you get to that point, anything can happen.
I'm pretty sure they have the. I think they have the talent. They're leaning too much about the excuse, like, well, we need Jimenez ready. We get this guy ready. Well, you win that many games without him. I don't want them to make the excuse, but Grandaz should be bad.
The only problem, or the only thing that I would see that would be a problem, was that this lineup isn't battle tested. Like if you were going to put me in a matchup against the Astros, I would take them.
Okay, correct. So the question is, World Series team. Who do you think right now? Do you think
once you get there, even as a fan, it's a whole different ballgame. Like we saw it last year when they were in Oakland.
Yeah.
Playoffs are playoffs. I would take the more experienced team.
Not always.
Always over we're just new. We're starting out. We don't know. We're getting a taste of it. They got a taste of it last year, but this isn't the COVID year. This actually be like a whole series. So I would think that World Series contenders, I think the Houston Astros are World Series contenders. I think the White Sox, you have to consider them World Series contenders. I believe that those teams out west that did the moves, I still think that the Dodgers are.
Well, what the Dodgers did, if it would have happened in the NBA, I think they would have blocked it. What they're doing at this point is if I'm boss.
If Rick Hahn literally was going to be the best GM in baseball, if it wasn't.
But I'm going to say this real quick, and I'm going to say it today on the show on Being Guillén. I don't care who wins the World Series. And they screwed Kenny in 2005. Rick Hahn needs to win GM of the Year already.
For the American League.
This is why. The Cubs are in the situation that they were in because they didn't sign any of their young players young.
And Rick has them all locked up.
If you think it's a bad contract, if you think it's the next Scottie Pippen move, that's not Rick's fault. Number two, if Lance Lynn wins the Cy Young,
they signed him cheap.
The last Cy Young, who we're going to talk about later in the show, is making $42 million, not even playing. They're going to lock Lance Lynn in. So contract-wise and moves-wise, Cesar Hernandez locked in for one more option at $6 million. Kimbrel, an option. So even if they don't win, I'm going to say on today's show, Rick Hahn should win GM of the Year. I don't care regardless of what happens.
He's doing what
his job is.
No, and what every GM wants to do.
Sign everyone
cheap, or the market, and to be able to be consistently good or compete. You're one or two free agents away that you can plug in. So kudos to him. I honestly think that his moves are outstanding. If the guy from the Dodgers hadn't gone,
by the way, when you're that rich when you have no budget, and that's what I'm talking about. That's why salary caps. It's not fair.
I honestly think that we haven't talked about Trevor Bauer.
But no, I'm just saying the next topic is what would OZZIE do?
I don't think that Trevor Bauer is coming back.
So let's just jump into the next topic. We have this beautiful segment here called is what would OZZIE do, and not this OZZIE, because this OZZIE usually just eats or just laughs at most jokes. But OZZIE Guillén, former manager, and again, we got his sidekick, Oni Guillén here, talking about what would you do in the situation if he was OZZIE in that point. Obviously, OZZIE, former player, Major League Baseball manager, World Series winner. He's done it all. Been in controversy himself. Number one controversy, the man who was the show in the offseason. Basically, there's been so many moves made in the Dodgers that we haven't even really talked about him. But Trevor Bauer is still the best pitcher.
Has he been tweeting?
He hasn't been tweeting. Very quiet. The fingers have gone dead.
I think after I read the alleged story. I think his tweeting days are over.
Well, I'm just saying. So the part that Trevor is very interesting is that they brought in a second agent, a guy that's more on the legal side. And when you usually keep things in the wraps, and the Dodgers, I feel bad for one person in this whole situation, other than the victim herself. Is the manager, Dave Roberts. And Dave Roberts addressed the media. Again, the Dodgers front office told Dave Roberts, you get paid the big bucks. Go handle this. But Dave Roberts had to basically address this. And literally every day they ask him, when is Trevor Bauer going to come back? There's been rumors, though. This is the part where the story and the question I want to ask you guys is, there's been rumors that they don't want Trevor back. Okay? And I think that Trevor Bauer's character, before this whole situation, him as a player, he's had a history of guys liking him, guys not liking him. So people on the Dodgers have said on the team, there's been rumors. Again, the media never says names. They never said so-and-so told me that they don't want him back, even if he's good. And obviously they made moves basically saying, we don't want you.
They also just signed Cole Hamels.
That's what I'm saying, though. So they brought in, if Trevor comes back, it's where's he going to pitch?
Nothing against Cole Hamels.
Well, he's 37.
No, but you can be 100 like Bartolo Colon.
But he's still competitive, though. Pitching a half the season.
Come on, bro.
They feel like they got a frontline starter with Max Scherzer, Hall of Famer. He'll be fine down.
By the way, he struck out 10 his first start.
He'll be good, and he's a competitor. He's a
he came out with his crazy eye, struck out 10.
They got a shortstop who's going to be playing, who's been playing second, unbelievable player. I think the Dodgers are basically letting everyone know we don't expect Trevor to come back. That's why we've gotten Scherzer and we signed Cole Hamels. Trevor Bauer isn't. It's
a 1-year deal, so it's a one-year deal with an option.
That means that they're not going to pick it up. And Trevor Bauer's I'm saying it right now. Trevor Bauer's probably pitched his last game as a Dodger.
I'm pretty sure because
it's hard to do.
How do you bring back though? How do you bring him back and without causing a disruption? They let Yasiel Puig go away because he was a clown. He was a circus. All the teams he's not managing because they don't want distractions. Everyone doesn't want distractions from Major League Baseball, and that's fine. We understand that. But how do you, even though for the people that love Trevor Bauer, and we're not judging his pitching skills, I think the guy he deserved a Cy Young. He's a guy that's a good pitcher. He deserves the money he got and his team. But as a distraction, okay, meaning when he comes to the stadium, the world that we live in now, a lot of microphones, a lot of people asking questions. And as a teammate, I'm going to be honest. These guys are in a pennant race. You don't want to be asked how do you feel that Trevor's here? You're like, I just want to go hit, man. I just literally want to go play and win another World Series.
This was 1981.
He'd be in the team.
Trevor Bauer would probably be pitching.
He would go to court. He would go to court, yes, deal with what he's doing. Exactly. He'd drive to the stadium, pitch. This is not those times.
This is 2021.
No way.
Very, very hard and different times. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. I just believe that with everything that's been going on and the history and his character, like you said, and the Dodgers trying to repeat as World Series champions, they're probably thinking, even Mookie Betts is playing second base. Unbelievable playing. They're thinking, we don't need this. Let's see what happens. But even after whatever happens in that case, I don't think Trevor Bauer pitches again for the Dodgers.
How do you handle it though? That situation, the clubhouse, not the media. I want you to tell me how you handle that in the clubhouse. You hear rumors that Trevor's coming back. Are players coming up to you and asking you and saying, "Hey, if Trevor comes back, we're upset about that." How does that situation happen? Does the manager's that's nobody's decision to be made? Oh, it's a front office.
To be honest with you, it's one player. They say, if Trevor coming back, I know what it feel good, but when the majority of the players say we don't want it back, it can be back. Manager got to stick up for the players. One is me, nothing with 25.
Even if you want it.
That happened with me.
Even if you want the guy back, you're like,
hey, that happened with me. We want my players not have this type of problem. Another problem, I kicking out of the clubhouse. I have 5 meetings with my own team. I said, listen,
we can say it was the Masa Marte.
Yeah, I said, will you guys want this guy back? No, if you want it, we want it. If you don't want it, we don't want it. But what it did is respect the team, not respect me. He respect the 25 guys that are there. Well, it's so bad. I said, get together, be a man, and say yes or no, and I will do whatever you guys say. I get it.
And they want him back.
They say, we want it back. Okay, he's back. If my player say, no, we don't want it, believe me, He's not going to be there.
That means that
but in the problem,
that means that you talk to the front office.
Okay, by the way, but the problem wasn't that bad. This is a very
that's by the way, the Marte problem was a problem that he wasn't happy, where he was at pitching. He wasn't pitching well. This is a way different. This is, by the way, this is what I say. By the way, this is a problem that involves whenever you have a problem. And by the way, because of Bauer, there was other players that were suspended, which is a part that's interesting. If Trevor Bauer, if the situation wasn't like this intense, you say, hey, I'll take a 30-game suspension. I want to pitch back in the playoffs, which Sterling Castro did. Nobody read it. It was like in very small letters. Sterling Castro suspended 30 days under domestic violence. No one's asking what happened. It was just like he's suspended. No question asked. But so Trevor hasn't come out and said, I'll take the suspension just because of the rumors. He's fighting this. So meaning this can go to court. This is like Kobe all over again.
That's funny because he's fighting this because he believes.
Oh, for sure.
He believes it wasn't.
He believes in his innocence.
Okay, he believes it.
Well, this could be Kobe Bryant and they can find him not guilty. But the part is the circus of the courtroom. Okay, the circus of the courtroom. Like this is not going to be OJ, but this is not like a misdemeanor. This is going to be with the media today. Every time that young man goes to the stadium or goes to the courtroom, he's going to be followed. Not only because of that, because of his character, meaning it's not that it's bad or that's good. He's been so out there in social media and vocal and the money, and he wants this, and we're going to change this. And there's a lot of people that are like,
I'll tell you what right now, I guarantee you there's like 3 or 4 teams that are very happy that they didn't sign him.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. The Mets are like, for sure.
He got a problem with us, with me, when he talk about the union. And the strikes and all the stuff. So you don't know anything by strike. You don't know anything by union. You remember that?
It was him versus everyone that was on. But can I say something really funny though? I hope people don't get mad.
Why not? Just they get mad to get over.
What happened if the judge, once he's like, if he's guilty or not, he sentences and does the sword, or like the defendant,
or the Conor McGregor,
or the other judge. Or I'm talking about all the lawyer. I was thinking about. I'm so stupid though.
Say guilty.
But I'm so stupid, like literally so stupid. I'm thinking if I was the other lawyer, every time that I would do my thing, I would do the walk and look at him. It's like funny. Literally, how dumb am I though?
It's funny because we don't know anything about this.
I don't want to know anything. There's a part though that no one wants to touch it. By the way, no one, baseball media, the Athletic, I'm going to call them out with all the baseball writers. No one's investigating this. I found out the girl's name through a rumor that someone was like, this is a person. Everyone knows like all the information, but no one's writing it because it's such a hot topic that people want to move on. But let's move on to something more positive, and it is my favorite story right now in Major League Baseball. It's the story of the guy that I was his bat boy when he actually hit his first hit and his first home run. It is the story of Miguel Cabrera chasing 500. He is chasing history, his tweets, and his Instagram is his wife constantly posting their son, who is like on the railing every at bat. Miguel is swinging, and all Venezuela's watching. We're watching. Well, I'm getting goosebumps. As a manager, Ozzy, how do you do that? 3,000 hits.
Not only 500 home runs, he's also chasing 3,000 hits.
So yeah, every time he gets a hit, it gets closer.
If you look at that list, it's not very long.
Well, so for like Venezuelans, I'm going to say right now, he'll be the first one to hit both numbers without any scandal. And then only one Dominican, like Pujols, is the only one because then you got A-Rod and Palmeiro, obviously both have been.
Eddie Murray.
Well, I'm saying ding with steroids. Like there's a list. A-Rod's on there. There's a couple guys on there.
What Miguel Cabrera is doing is historic. Obviously, us being from Venezuela, it has a special meaning. Us knowing him very well is even a bigger deal. You know what? To be honest with you, obviously, you guys know all the accolades in baseball. We don't have to talk about that because the guy is just all-time great. One thing that I thought was really cool was that his son is old enough to remember this, and his son is living this and being able to see it live. And they have a countdown in the outfield. Like if he gets a hit, they take it down. It is going to be such an honor for their family and him to be able to accomplish it. And the fact that he's doing it in Detroit I thought it was also pretty cool. Like he stayed there. He could have left a long time ago. Obviously, he started
a lot of baseball history there in Detroit.
He did it. He's doing it in Detroit. I'm happy for Miguel, and I just hope that if he has 299.99 wherever I'm at, I'm going to tune in and see the thing. The home run will be a little harder to predict.
I'm gonna be honest. I might.
You want to fly that day.
I literally and I hope
you don't know. What if you fly and you're out there for a week?
We're going for a week and a half.
You play. So this is the part that's interesting. So I was there for his first hit. Is the only guy in my life that
against Tampa.
that has been able to do it, and it was a home run. So obviously, I hope that he gets it before it comes to Chicago because they're not coming till September. And I hope that he gets the home runs out of the way.
So don't be selfish. Do it here.
No, I'm saying though, I hope he gets out of the way the home runs. But next season, because it'll be hard for him to get to 3,000 this year, I think hits-wise unless he gets super on fire. But I think you plan it out. Why? Because I think it's such a big moment in baseball history, Venezuelan history, and Miguel. It's a guy that we saw him, come in my opinion, in the world that we play in now. He's only been on 2 teams. He was a Marlin originally drafted. That's pretty cool. And he was a Tiger.
Almost a White Sox.
But a Tiger for life, meaning 2 teams, unless Bulls happens. Like if you're on 2 teams now, that's like if you were like originally like a team friend of yours. But we'll keep rooting.
Can I say something very quick about Miguel? Miguel, it was when I got to the Marlins, we talked about Miguel Cabrera, big meeting, organization meeting. They talked about Miguel Cabrera. In that time, we had the best shortstop I ever see playing, Alex Gonzalez, playing for us. Then they talk about Miguel, moving, he's going to be the shortstop of the future, all that stuff. Then I raise my hand and I say, Miguel Cabrera, shortstop. He never will play shortstop in the big league. And the front office, what's this? The stupid guy said, Beinfest. And then the rest of the guys told me like, you crazy, this keeper is all starting double A. I said, you never see Miguel Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera be the next Andres Galarraga. Did you see this kid? We had to find another. No. It was so bad. I left the meetings and went to my house, and Jeff Toro called me and he just killed me in the phone. You don't respect, you this. I said, well, you just have my opinion. Okay. Next spring training, I talked to Alex Gonzalez, take you to Hugo Urbina. Alex, we need you to play better. Come on, we need you. You're a shortstop. Alex Gonzalez played great shortstop. When Jeff Tarbor, Miguel Cabrera come to the clubhouse, and Miguel, let's go meet the new manager. Meet the new manager. Jeff Tarbor put his head down and go, holy cow. Look, I got goosebumps. Holy cow. Okay, this is a shortstop. And he's 16 years old, 17 years old. When this kid's 22, he's going to be huge. Okay. Now, shortstop, we talk about it. He got to start playing third base. We got Milo third base. He's not going to be the third base that year, so he got to play third base. Send it to the minor. Don't send it to minor league playing shortstop. Someone to big league. You play another position.
Well, then he ended up playing left field.
Okay, now we got a problem. And Jeff Toro called me and said, you think Miguel Cabrera can play left field? I said, Miguel Cabrera can play any position you want to. When you play left field, the way he play shortstop, the way he play shortstop, he can play anywhere. Okay, major league debut. When Miguel Cabrera was left field. Okay, thank you. Miguel Cabrera career was third base, first base, DH. Never played shortstop one day in the major league career. Thank you, Mr. Joe. Everything, no, Mr. Beinfest. Not because you wear a suit and tie and watch a game. No, wait. You watch a game from the stands, you think you know more baseball than anybody. I leave baseball.
Listen.
And thank you. I was right again.
Listen. This guy was the another thing is before we go to the next topic. This guy's what is he, my age? He's your age.
He's a year older than me.
He's working out, and I'm working out next to him. And I take my shirt off. He's got a shirt off. This guy is a house.
So we have to do a Miguel Cabrera special. Miguel Cabrera used to use my fake ID. I got him a fake ID in Miami, so I could say the triple. And again, he's my guy. We love him so much. But again. We're talking Miguel, hopefully by this next week.
But we're going to send a picture of Miguel Cabrera with me, with the Marlins.
Real or fake is the next topic in the segment. It's when we think that if a story is real or it's fake. And right away, we're going to jump into a guy that wants to do what Miguel Cabrera has done, something that's only been done twice, I think, in the last 75 years, if my research is not wrong. And it's called the Triple Crown. Here's the part that's interesting. This is the only way that I think that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. gets to even have a chance of being the MVP. Why? Shohei Ohtani pitches and hits, and also bad boys in the American League. I heard he also does the clothes and cleans the teams. This guy does it all. He cooks. Shohei Ohtani is a full show. So the only chance I think Vladdy has, and he could be the only guy in the history of baseball to win a Triple Crown and not be the MVP. Does Vladdy Jr. have a shot at the Triple Crown?
I think he has a shot at it, but I don't think it's going to happen. This is one of the hardest things to do in baseball.
So fake.
It's fake. I believe if he was in the AL Central, he might have a shot.
But he's in the hardest division in baseball.
He's facing top guns, teams that are competing every day. Yankees, Tampa, Boston. It's like a gauntlet over there. Boston just lost 5 games in a row. I think Vladdy would probably be deserving of the MVP if he won the Triple Crown. But I think the MVP is going to be Shohei Ohtani. I think he has to just go off Like just
So I'm not talking MVP. I'm talking Triple Crown. You don't fake.
Fake. There's something to do. Fake.
You know what? I'm gonna go
there's
out
only
there.
been what, 2?
I'm gonna go out there and be crazy. I hope that he wins a Triple Crown and makes his soul.
The people are broke. This guy's paying top up. He's gonna pay all your bills.
By the way, like Aldivino says, it's never Aldivino's fault, always the player's fault. But I'm gonna say this real quick. You guys are going fake. I'm gonna say truth. I hope that he goes for it, and I hope that he wins it. And
I hope he don't win it too.
Hold on, and the people that have to vote between Shohei Ohtani and a Triple Crown. Baseball will go nuts. Real or fake? The next one. The team that I picked to lose 100 games. Alex Cross does not stop reminding me. And if they win the World Series, I'm going to go down as the guy that picked them to lose 100 games, and they won the World Series. The Red Sox to make the playoffs and make a World Series run.
Make the playoffs real. They will make the playoffs. World Series run, I'm going to say, I personally, I think the Red Sox are going to go to the American League Championship Series.
You think you got to lose in the
Astros?
Man, that's cold.
I just think that, first of all, what they're doing is like
Weber's about to cry.
They're gonna have Chris Sale back. Now let me see how Sale comes back,
and then you'll judge.
And then I'm like, okay, going how Sale's judged. But I just think that they got Bogarts, they got Devers, they have a good team.
Yeah, they make it
so real.
They make it real.
I think it's real. I don't think they. Alex Cora has been all world. If they get to the World Series, my God,
yeah,
like
Ozzie, real or fake?
Fake because
they don't make the playoffs.
Oh, they will. They had to make the playoffs.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to be in the World Series because I don't think they just fight. They just fight like a champs all year long. And how you say kudos to Alex because he's doing tremendous job. I might say that wrong in Spanish, not too good. That's why I was thinking about like what you say? Is that with the D? Kudos with the D. Then all of a sudden, because they did something that nobody not doing for a long time. I think he's not supposed to be even
they
close.
They get rid of rookie bets, and they're going to be.
So the next
rookie bet. Bradley, what's the
okay?
Bradley too.
Yeah. To wrap it up, real or fake? The Mets take the division.
Fake. I think the Mets will not win the division.
Mr. Mets mad.
I've been watching a lot of Atlanta Braves games lately. I was in St. Louis. I probably won't be back there for another 20 years. No reason to go to St. Louis ever again. I mean, what? Wow. Just grateful that I live in Chicago. Love Chicago. Great city.
Hold on. When you live in Chicago, if you go to another cities, it's a few cities. Better than Chicago.
Okay, Mets. So you're saying no to the Mets.
No to the Mets.
Or fake?
The Mets. I think
the bias move and Lindor come back. I think they're great for change and funny and it's all games. But I think the Mets fail.
You know why? Because the pitchers have the big boys hurt. And the big boys are in one spot. I'm really worried about it. And I don't think
the Grum's always hurt. The Grum's the greatest two-week pitcher ever.
I love the pickup of Soler with Atlanta and Adam Duvall. The Atlanta Braves got on there. They did another GM that Anthopoulos that people should read. He did really, really well. Acuna goes down. He gets Soler, Adam Duvall, Eddie Rosario, and Jock Peterson.
And Osuna goes to jail.
And Osuna,
I don't even know where he's at. But I'm saying that was a hard situation to be able to pull it off.
Nobody even talk about Osuna's problem.
But thank you, Bauer. I'm
supposed to be talking about Fidel. I still paying the price. Those guys
trust me. There was nobody happier about that situation when the Bauer thing happened in the story than the Osuna camp.
Because
they're no longer the focus. So, Guillén guarantee. We're going into a week where it's crazy. And we got a couple series, though, that are really big. And my Guillén guarantee is this. The Milwaukee Brewers are a very good team, but they're playing a team that's their slogan is, let the old men play. Let the old guys roll. And Gabe Kapler, who I love and care for, and they have a lot of friends of mine in the coaching staff, they win 2 out of 3 in the Giants.
That's a great bet because you know what?
They're underdogs.
The Giants are going to be underdogs because they're in Milwaukee.
And they're going to win 2 out of 3 in that series.
So there's a lot of value in that. It's going to be a little surprising pick. It's a crosstown classic.
You going to sweep?
Sox, Cubs. I'm saying the Cubs win 2 out of 3.
Is this coming?
My God.
Is this coming because you're not
fan of White Sox?
That you are not 100% a White Sox fan, or you just really think that, or you just want to stir stuff up?
No, I believe that the Cubs are gonna get up. They're gonna like we have. This is it for us.
Okay.
Like, this is it for us.
This is our World Series.
This is our World Series. I think the Cubs are gonna come out. They're gonna be ready to play. This is gonna be the World Series. I didn't say sweep. I think the Cubs win 2 out of 3.
They win the series.
I can say that. You want to bet? The Cubs are going to get swept. Not because I'm working for the White Sox network. It's just because the team they have and the pitching staff the White Sox have, they are better, and I would take 3. only
and I'm also
a dozen balls.
And I'm also I'm really liking Seattle Mariners are playing some good baseball.
Yeah.
And they're facing good teams. I like Seattle on the road against the Yankees. I'm going to be betting heavy on the Mariners. So those are my three.
By the way, don't get crazy on the Yankees. Hottest team in baseball since the All-Star break. So don't sleep
Okay,
on that.
it'll be crazy. White Sox
guaranteed.
will sweep the Cubs.
So we got Ozzie sweeps the Cubs.
Win the series.
I win the series. I got the Giants winning 2 out of 3 in Milwaukee.
And today, happy anniversary. I've been married for 1 year today, August 6th. So being married is not that hard. It's actually been a really great year. So
Thank you.
Like I said before, it's been
by the way,
you know,
El Adivino, keep following. He's getting hot, people.
Yeah.
He's getting hot.
And you had a great wife.
Yeah, she's great.
And we've been lucky with the wife we have.
Great. So, being Guillén, see you guys soon here on La Vida Baseball. Check it out.